Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yes, big up to the seals. Do be liking and subscribing. Also, there's so much transfer news here that I'm about to go through because I was feeling a bit sick, so I wasn't really doing transfer news, but now so much transfer news has dropped. I just have to go through all of it. I just have to. So. The main thing is in the title, of course, GREALISH. But I'll wait a bit to talk about GREALISH until everyone joins here. Let's start off with some other transfer news. I will quickly try to go through some of these other stories because there's just so much. Let me just show you quickly what we're going through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I'm not showing you 9 yet. 10 different stories. I am about to take you guys through 10 different stories. 2 of them I really intend to talk about quite a bit. So yeah, it's gonna take a while. So I really want to get through the first story rather quickly, to be honest. Vitor Reis could leave Manchester City after just 6 months at the club. That does not surprise me. We bought him. We bought Bar. We have 9 central backs at the club right now. And in fact, let's do this. Let's go through this. Excuse me. And we're looking at the option for a guy named Gila. I don't remember his exact name. I believe Mario Gila. Correct me if I'm mistaken. So we're looking through so many potential players to get all in that central back option, and we already have so many. We have to get rid of so many, so it doesn't surprise me at all, especially if Akanji or Ake stays. I mean, we all know that they are favored over this guy, Vitor Reis, whatever his name is pronounced as. He's not really had any chances for Man City this season either. Club World Cup will he get more chances potentially, but if you're a player who's just come into Man City, you see all these players, you see that Yuma Ba is literally goated wherever he plays for the national team, best player in the team. Plays in La Liga, best player in the team. Plays in Ligue 1, best player in the team. So, if you are this guy, yeah, you're worrying. Like let's be honest, if you're Vitor Reis, you are worried. And then there's a story about potentially getting Mario Gila, and now you're just saying, well, fuck. Now you're just saying, fuck, isn't it? Because let's be honest, Vitor Reis, are you playing above Vardiol? No, you're not. Are you playing above Diaz? No, you're not. Are you playing above Pa? Guzanov? No, you're not. So who are you playing above? No one. 5 centre backs is a lot. And if you have a 3 centre back system, then you can get 6 centre backs and be fine. But when you have a system where you only have 2 centre backs, and then you're getting in a right back as well and a left back, and you have a centre back who can play left back, or a left back who can play centre back, or you keep a Kanji for a right back who can play centre back, and then you get maybe one Bissaka or someone else, another centre back, right back who can play both of those positions. As Vitor Reis, you're just not touching the football pitch, are you? So honestly, this does not surprise me. But the source is this. Say what you will about this source. It does not surprise me. It does not surprise me. Yeah, we do this a lot though, don't we? We do this a lot. We get a kid and then we never play him. Hello, Wim. Hello, how are you? No Simon Mignolet in the squad list. Yeah, I know he's injured. But what did you expect? Us to roll out an injured player? Ex-Club Brugge player, as always, is gonna give a kickoff. Hans van Aken will be fit again. Prediction: Barcelona-Inter. I'll go. It's at Camp Nou, right? I'll go 2-1 Barca. I'll go 2-1 Barca. Rip Vitor Reis, yeah, bro. Lasted long, didn't it? Lasted long. Anyhow, on to more exciting news. Andrea Cambiasso. I mean, this is just This is just the news circulating around now over and over and over. Manchester City and Liverpool apparently will compete for the signing right back. What grammar is this? So someone needs to teach this man grammar, bro. Manchester City and Liverpool will compete for the signing right back. That is not English grammar, but okay. Andrea Cambiasso, who appears set to leave Juventus. Yeah, so why is he set to leave Juventus? Just think about it. It's because he's not rated, he's not good enough. He's injury prone, and Juventus fans don't like him. Bro. If you look at Juventus fans, yet they're talking about scamming Man City by selling Cambiasso to us. Think about this, you know. Think about this. I'll say Inter Milan will win. Nah, they're looking too sus, man. Cambiasso isn't even rated by Juventus fans. You know what I'm saying, bro? He's not even rated by Juventus fans. This is interesting, isn't it? Maxime de Kuiper. People just invent any transfer news nowadays. So apparently Man City is interested in Maxime de Kuiper from Club Brugge. No, we're not. This source is asinine. This guy is asinine. I believe this is a fucking fake account. Oh, it's this guy. Yeah, so let me tell you about Maxime de Kuiper. And don't tell me I don't know ball. I've watched his debut. I've watched pretty much every game in his career. I've seen him ball out. I've seen him win titles with us. He is not Manchester City quality. He's the best left back Belgium has got. That does not make him Manchester City quality. Because Belgium is dog shit right now. You get Maxime de Kuiper. For your bench, maybe okay. But we're not getting him for the bench. Because we have other players who can play on the bench. He will not be good enough. He will simply not be good enough. And no, just no. This is made up bullshit. This guy, by the way, if you want to know who this guy is, he's a liar. He's a liar, he makes things up. Block this account. Anything you see from this guy is lies. He has no sources. He's a liar. This news about Maxime de Kuiper is a lie. He's making it up. You get me? He's lying for attention. And it works. Look at how many people have followed him. Almost 2,000 followers. By baseless lies. Bro, don't believe this shit. Don't believe this shit. It's bullshit. Anyhow, on to more interesting news. Bild, now this is a good source. This is actual source. This is actual media. Bild is saying that Manchester City has intensified their interest in Hugo Larsson. Hugo Larsson, a midfielder from Frankfurt. The price tag is set to be around 60 million. Now, I've seen stuff about Hugo Larsson. And he just doesn't convince me. He's also quite young, isn't he? I believe he's 20. Yeah, he's 20. So he's quite young. I'm not convinced of him. I'm really not. Rumors are saying Ardon Yashari to PSG. I doubt that. He said he'll stay. Don't take the piss, Rosa. Don't take the piss. Fake news account. Yeah, that's what it is. If Bild is actually saying this, and I'm not sure if Bild is saying this because I can't actually find the article. But yeah, Hugo Larsson, I'm not convinced of him. I'm not interested in him, so I'll just leave it at that. Again, I'm trying to get through these news stories because I need to get to the interesting stuff, the Jack Grealish stuff and all of that. Because we will have a nice conversation about Jack Grealish. And my secret guest of the evening, I suppose. Evening, noon, I guess it's afternoon, I guess it's a bit early to call it evening. Bayer Leverkusen have explicitly denied that an agreement has been reached between FC Bayern and Florian Wirtz. Leverkusen told RTL and Sports Deutschland, I believe that is, or Sports Deutsch or something like that. It's a hoax. The 1000 hoax. Bro. You see these accounts. And I tell you guys, and I believe this guy posted it. I told you guys in my stream yesterday, this is fake news. I told you yesterday, this is fake news, this is bullshit. These men make whatever the fuck up, and I'll try to find it quickly. If I can't find it quickly, I'll just scroll past this, but that is Twitter. That is Twitter ITKs. That is Twitter ITKs. That is this guy. He just reposts what others have said, and yeah, it gets debunked. Basically. So yes, fake news floats around Twitter. What a surprise! This is why you can't take these ITKs seriously. Like, so many people see something about an ITK and immediately, oh, they are in the know, I believe it. These people know fuck all. Because everyone who knows anything is under an NDA. Do you know what that means? It's called a non-disclosure agreement. You cannot talk about these things. You're not allowed to talk about these things. You have an NDA. Anyone who knows this stuff is restricted from speaking about it, unless they are given explicit permission by the club to talk about it. Some random account on Twitter is not that. That is not this guy. This guy has no connections with the club. The Manchester City Football Club is not directly associated with this guy. He claims to be, but he's not. The same is true for this news here, which came from a respectable source on Twitter. It's bullshit. It's a hoax. They literally call it a fucking hoax. And that's an official fucking sports site. That's an official sports journalistic site. That is not an ITK account, that is official. And they're calling it a hoax. That is what these ITK accounts are. And that's why people need to calm down. When they see this news on Twitter, everyone asks me, have you seen the latest news on Words? Yes, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Stop getting excited about it, it's bullshit, it's lies. Don't get so excited about it, it's just nonsense. So, there you go. We've almost gone through all the interesting stuff. Oh yeah, this was the account. I remember. This was the account that claimed that Word made an agreement with Bayern München. If you see anything from this account, 300k followers, you know. 300k followers. Journalist. Change that to fucking liar, bro. Because man's lying. Bro, Bayer Leverkusen called this shit a hoax, bro. Let's read this though. Manchester City have added Gabriel Sara to their list for summer transfers. Now, I've seen a lot of accounts retweet this. City Extra even retweeted it, I believe. But my problem is everyone references this guy. This guy was literally called a liar by a club he reported on. So, I mean, what does that do for the confidence in one's ability to report accurately? Let me mute this account, by the way. I don't want this lie all over my feed. But what does that tell you about the authenticity of the things he reports on? I don't think we'll get him. I don't think we will get this guy. Who is this guy? Bro, who is this guy? Oh yeah, he's the Norwich City reject. Who is this guy? Why would we get him? Like, do we need him? And we don't. We can get better midfielders. Let's be honest, Morgan Gibbs-White is better than him. And Words is better than him. Reinders is better than him. You want to sign 3 midfielders? Words, Reinders, Gibbs-White, triple threat, triple the money, triple the midfielders, triple the quality, each and every one separately of this guy. That's 3 times a triple, and it's all better than this guy. We're not signing him. We are absolutely not signing him. Now, Diogo Costa. Man City's goalkeeper situation. People lie for attention. This is it, Rosa. People lie for attention on Twitter. People lie for attention. They will make up transfer stories just to get a bit of attention. People are that desperate. That is how desperate people are. People want to be seen as, I don't know, prophets, as like in the nose, I guess. They want to be seen as something knowledgeable. They want to be respected. People are so desperate for that respect, for that follower number, that they will go out and lie and lie and lie. I'll tell you one thing, yeah. All of them, man, who say an insane amount of lies, bullshit, lie after lie, they all get found out. Not only do they get found out, yeah, but once they get found out, all of that shit drops, their account potentially gets banned, and then they have to go again. And they have to go again, and they have to go again. They can't build anything that's sustaining. So, if you're gonna lie, yeah, for attention, like honestly, the best way to get attention is to just put yourself out there and be authentic. If you're that desperate for attention, be authentic, be patient. Now this news is not the happiest for me. I don't quite like this news actually. Man City interested in Porto goalkeeper Diogo Costa. Now, this is coming from Sky Sports. Leah Thomas? This guy. So it's coming from Sky Sports. Sky Sports tends to, this is the official Sky Sports website and all of that. They tend to know what they're talking about. Manchester City are interested in Porto goalkeeper Diogo Costa. The position is one that City are looking to strengthen this summer. Yeah, because our goalkeepers are dog shit, let's be honest. Regardless of any uncertainty over the future of Ederson. Ederson has a long-term interest from the Saudi Arabian Premier League. Is that what they call it? I believe it's called Saudi Pro League actually, but okay. But it remains to be seen if they make any serious attempt to sign him this summer. I think they will, and I think we should, not will, but should, sell him off cheaply. Now, I don't know if the club will, but we're not getting a lot of money for him, so we should not haggle over the price. We need to get this man off our, like, books. He's dog shit. Needs to go. Costa is of interest to a number of clubs across Europe. I strongly doubt that. And considered... Sure, let's go with that. Let's just take that at face value. Let's just say okay. Let's just fingers up. Okay, let's go with it. The 25-year-old is Portugal's number one with 34 caps and just 5 appearances short of 200 for Porto. He and Ederson share the same agent, by the way, George Mendes. Which George Mendes, of course, best agent in the world. I don't want him. Bro, I don't want him. Nah. This agent is a gaslighter. He is a gaslighter. He is a seller of dreams. You know how they call Old Trafford the, like, theater of dreams? This man is a seller of dreams, bro. He is currently sitting there with our board members. He's gaslighting these men about Diogo Costa. He's showing them AI-generated footage of Diogo Costa. He's saying like, look at this save that Diogo Costa made. It's fucking AI-generated, bro. This man, George Mendes, he's gaslighting our board. He's gaslighting our board. He's gaslighting Pep Guardiola. It's all gaslighting, bro. I don't want this guy. And if he comes, fair enough. I won't complain too much, but I don't want him. Now, the interesting news. The actual interesting news that I wanted to talk about. Jack Grealish is seen as one of the senior heads in the Manchester City dressing room, and the club will not allow a loan exit this summer. The 29-year-old is also settled into the Northwest, and his start against Nottingham Forest on Sunday was seen as positive, by his camp. Now this is just harsh, by the way. This is just harsh. People calling him the worst. Yeah. Always thought Grealish could cook at Newcastle. I want to see him play as an 8 or mid playmaker now. Still a lot of talent in this guy. And I will not rest until you are gone from my club. Let me tell you why it might happen. If you look at this right now, we can add one player extra to this lineup. Now let's say we get Costa, potentially. And with also in currently for the Kerkes. So let's quickly just add that. Let's say Grealish stays. Whatever, the random number X. That number 10 will be getting stripped from him if he does stay. And he stays, it gives us an extra midfielder. And O'Reilly is quite inexperienced. Gundogan is very old on the other hand. It gives us a bench midfielder who is in between that. And I don't think we'll be willing to buy that. And I've seen just the way Pep talks about Grealish in recent times and stuff. And I actually think that might happen. He played decent against Nottingham Forest, both games. He's played decent anytime he's been in midfield. And except Juventus. The one bad game he played in midfield, Juventus, and people latched on to that. And next season he can have more of a role as a midfielder off the bench, assuming that some of these other players like Nunez, Kovacic do end up leaving. And Pep decides to give him a chance. So it's tough. Silva leaving as well, of course, so I don't want him to stay. But, like, this is what everyone is reporting. It's coming from TalkSport, so it's an official source. Alex Crook from TalkSport specifically is reporting it. So, oh no, it's not from TalkSport. Oh yes, from TalkSport. But yeah, Alex Crook from TalkSport is reporting it. They're talking about it, and now they say they won't allow him to leave on a loan. So does that mean he gets sold off? But where to? Like, this is the thing, yeah? When you sell off a player, it's not just about the price tag, it's about the money, the wages that you have to pay the player. And Grealish has incredibly high wages. So selling him off, it will be difficult. It will be difficult to sell Grealish, because not a lot of clubs can actually afford his wages. I know that might sound shocking, but Grealish, like, can we find Grealish's wages quickly? What are his wages? Man City player wages. Payroll table. Let's open this. Where is Grealish? Player. Haaland. Grealish. Grealish is on 300k a week. Oh my god. He is our second highest earner. But I did not realize it was that. He has a higher weekly salary than Rodri. He's got a higher fucking salary than Rodri, bro. And I know that will be fixed with his new contract, because he's getting a new contract, by the way, Rodri. Oh my god. Who is signing him? Who is signing him and paying him these wages? Oh my days. Nah, I did not realize it was that high. Yeah, Marmouche, by the way, Marmouche is incredibly high as well. They shouldn't give these players these types of wages. Nah, Gundogan as well, like, whose decision was this? The wage structure at this club is fucked, bro. No new news about words. Plot twist, we're signing no one. Bro. Don't bag it. Don't bag it. Who gave him that contract, bro? Bro, I'm exasperated. You know, like that. I'm exasperated. Bro, I'm shocked. Like, yikes, bro. Nah. Tell me something about words. No news about words, other than the story about him agreeing a contract with Bayern. That's fake news. The story about him agreeing personal terms, fake news, debunked. So that's the only real news about words. But I actually think he'll stay. And the reason why I think he'll stay is, first of all, he doesn't have that much longer left on his contract. And I think we'll just let him run down his contract, because GREALISH, yeah, he's got 1 season left on his contract. Third season, 26, 27 as well. So, next season, if he plays well in midfield, we can keep him, right? If he plays well off the bench in midfield. And if he doesn't, we can still sell him for a bit of money later, when he's a bit older, hits his 30s, and might be more willing to lower his wages. But right now, he won't want to lower his wages. He'll want to stay at Man City. He enjoys being at Man City. Let's get real with it. He's enjoyed winning trophies at Man City. Like, he's got 3 league titles, a Champions League and FA Cup at Man City. Potentially 2. He's just got too many wages for other clubs, and Pep respects him. We don't want to loan him out, so... Honestly, I'm not saying he'll stay. Like again, we need to get this right. I'm not saying that Jack Grealish will stay. What I am saying is, I'm not at all surprised if he does stay. I'm not in the slightest surprised if he does stay. I'm incredibly disappointed, but I'm not surprised. And that's... Bro. This stuff got me sweating, you know. This stuff got me sweating. How good will GREALISH still be for us next season? I don't know. But like, this is the problem. It's not that GREALISH is a bad player, but like, I don't know how good he'll still be for us. And people calling him outward signing, that's not true. I think Calvin Phillips is. But the problem is, the only way we get rid of him is probably to loan him out or sell him incredibly cheap. GREALISH has to leave. We have to try. Bro. Want share the link. Who sent me that? Want share the link. Oh yeah, give me a second, Matthijs. I'll DM you the link right now. Because I need to talk about this, yeah? I need to talk about this. Give me a second, Matthijs. Yeah. I'm DMing you right now. Matthijs. Where's my mic? Where's my headset? Here it is. One second, guys. I'm sending Matthijs the link. There you go. I've sent you the link, Matthijs. I've sent you the link. Yeah, bro, nah. I hope he doesn't stay, too. I hope he doesn't stay. Am I a bit dark? Yeah, I look a bit dark, don't I? GREALISH has to leave, I agree. But I can see it happen, bro. He plays a few good games. Pep feels sorry for him. All of that, like, Pep feels sorry for him. Oh, we could still do something with him. Oh, it's difficult to get these players out. We don't want to loan him out. He's a senior in our camp, like, you know. Bro. I see it happening, bro. I tell you, I see it happening. I see it happening that he stays next season. It just seems like something that will happen. I don't know what. It just feels like it will happen. It just feels like it will happen. By the way, I sent you the link for this. I sent you the link. I should probably bot you, but I can't be asked right now. While we wait for Matthäus to join, let's share the screen again. Oh. Let's share the screen better than that. Yeah, and I still have one thing to go through here while we wait for Matthäus to join. 1 second, guys. And that is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, Aaron Wan-Bissaka has ought to be one of the most disrespected players out there. And I will tell you why. Because I'm not saying I want this guy as a starter, by the way. Like, so many people just are like, oh, you want Wan-Bissaka at Man City starting fullback? No, I don't. I want him as a backup and fullback. And Wan-Bissaka will go through a few statistics of his while we wait for Matthäus to join up. Did I send him the link? That's right. I did. Matthäus is taking a while though. Right, so Wan-Bissaka plays every minute, every season though. He's always available. He's always available. Where is the injury, guys? Where is the injury? He doesn't have that. Let's go through this. Let's go through this. I mean, he's had a hamstring injury here, but other than this season, he's always available though. And we need players who are available. Bench players who are available. Look at this. Yeah, he's available for most of the season. He's on the bench a few times because, well, he was at Man United. Yeah, don't worry, Matthäus. No need to rush. But look, he's available for most of these games. He's a decent player, and I will prove to you guys he's a decent player. First of all, I actually watch him with my eyes. I opened this up. I don't actually know how to look at the statistics. We'll just use another site I prefer using. If you look at this right now, yeah? If you look at this right now, where can I see his statistics? In fact, let's compare him. Let's compare him to Livramento. That's what we should do. So he plays more minutes, but okay. He gets more goals, who cares, he's a defender. More assists, sure, he pushes up and he helps more. He gets more crosses into the box, like, than Livramento. So, defending, he's better at everything except block shots, which is equal. This man, and now I know, West Ham have the ball less, but this man, with a worse defense, being pushed up way too high by a shit coach, is actually doing in the numbers. Like, if you actually watch him, people disrespect him so hard, bro. They say, I've been hearing all fucking, I don't know. I've been hearing since I said that I want Wan-Bissaka, disrespect of this man. He even has more successful dribbles and ground duels. Like, he wins his ground duels. He wins his aerial duels. Like, people have their panties down. People have their panties down for Livramento. He wins the aerial duels. He wins the ground duels. He dribbles better. He gets the same amount of guards. Okay, he gets fouled a bit less. He makes a few more fouls. But that's tactical fouls because he's playing at West Ham, where he has to deal with a lot more lack of possession. Whereas Newcastle, it's a stronger defense, first of all, with a more midfield help, and they have more of the ball. Again, clearances, all these defensive stats are better. And I know football is not just statistics. I know. Football is not just statistics. But if you actually look at it, yeah? If you actually look at this, Wan-Bissaka is one, going forwards more than Livramento, but two, is comfortable. He's comfortable with being on the bench. We need someone who's comfortable being on the bench. He's comfy in defense. And okay, his attacking, it's not the greatest, guys. Let's be honest. His attacking is not that good. But let's be honest. Let's be honest about Livramento right now. Wan-Bissaka right now. If you get Wan-Bissaka at Man City as a bench player, and he comes off the bench against, let's say, Crystal Palace for 20 minutes, you're winning 3-1. You're resting whoever is your right back. Is that game going to go our way? I'm going to ask that question to Matthäus, who's now in backstage and can now be seen. Hello, Matthäus.
Oh, you're
Oh,
right.
wait, do I have myself muted? Yes, I do. Terrible. Hello, Matthias, how are you?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm also chilling. Decided to do a short Stanford stream here. Great that you can come on as well. So, what subject did you want to come on for, actually? What subject did you want to come on for?
What's it? Why do you want Wan-Bissaka?
As a backup right back, because I think he's very solid. He pushes up a lot for West Ham, but I don't think that's what his best game is. But he does it still, and he does it decently. He listens well to the coach. He's a smart footballer, I think, which I appreciate a lot. Because you see a lot of footballers and they're not smart. Like they're good, but they're not smart. I think he's maybe not smart footballer, but I think he's not so dumb like some other footballers. And I think we need someone right now in the team, even if they're just on the bench, to have a bit of experience, to have a bit of intelligence about them, and to be able to come into Pep's system and to understand it a bit. Like, of course, every footballer coming into a Pep system, they'll struggle initially. But he will be someone that can get into that system a lot quicker than other players, I think. And again, he's happy off the bench. He's going to be happy off the bench.
How much would you be willing to pay for him?
Maximum?
Yeah.
35 million euros, so that's about 30 million pounds. You're muted. You are muted.
Sorry, we're talking pounds because he's a West Ham. How long is his contract?
I believe one more year.
Let's check his contract.
Check that. Transfermarkt. Wan-Bissaka. Give me a second, yeah?
No, it's actually 6 years.
He must have signed an extension recently, okay. I did not know that. He must have signed an extension recently then.
No. I think it
come again?
I think he signed a massive contract at West Ham.
Did he?
Yeah, he signed a big contract at West Ham.
Didn't he initially sign a short contract? Or...
Yeah. The problem is,
yeah,
I wouldn't be against a player like Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
I generally think he's a decent right back. Let's not get that. He's a decent right back. But the problem is the fan base. I don't think the fan base, because the fan base have already put in their mind that they want Cambiasso and Cambiasso only. Now with Wan-Bissaka, because he didn't do so well at Man United, even though I think he done okay at Man United, with all things considering, with the change in management, whatever,
yeah,
change of ownership, or the other protest there, I still believe he's done okay. But with our fan base, it'd be like, oh, why are we going for Wan-Bissaka? We're supposed to be in a rebuild, because the way that this fan base is programmed is either the players that they fancy or no one. Yeah.
Bissaka, 40 million, by the way, says Rosa. 40 million what? Pounds, euros, like 40 million what? So, what I think with Wan-Bissaka, first of all, West Ham also has to sell because of PSR issues. So, they're 17th right now as well, I believe. 17th, 16th. Yeah. They're right down on the table. They're in trouble right now. If a player wants to leave a club, they can protest and they can get that done. We saw that with Nunez. Matheus Nunez as a transfer didn't particularly work out great, but when a player wants to leave a club, they will go and protest. I don't think he played too poorly for Man United. I think he was alright for Man United. I just think the system at Man United is broken. Anthony, a decent player, and now I won't take Anthony at Man City, but Anthony, he plays decent for the Real Betis.
We're talking about a Premier League proven player and an English international.
A homegrown.
Yeah, because if you look at our homegrowns, we're trying to get rid of Ake, John Stones, and even Jack Grealish, for example. We're going to be left short.
Yet it's news now that Grealish isn't leaving unless he's being
I
sold.
think Grealish is staying. I generally thought Grealish is staying because
Yeah, I think so too.
Because this rebuild, it cannot be get rid of 10 players to get 10 players in. The maximum we can get rid of is 7. Maybe we're talking around 5 to 7 players to go, and we can just bring on an adequate replacement for them.
I think we're
So
going to...
if the Grealish is staying, then we've got Grealish, Foden, Oscar Bob, and Scott Carson.
Scott Carson's contract is running out, isn't it? Or is it another year?
Well, no, Scott Carson gets a 1-year deal every single year.
Yeah,
he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but have they signed another deal yet?
No, he gets that in the summer. He just
do you think they'll re-sign it?
Yeah, I think he will. Because if he gets to the point where we just stuck him with 6 or 7 homegrowns, then we just trigger that extension to Scott Carson, just make up the numbers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but we can just get out academy goalkeeper that Spike Bricks instead.
Yes, we can, but you also have to, with Pep Guardiola, you also have to bear in mind he likes a specific type of characters in the dressing room. Players like Scott Carson, which he
and Grealish,
where they lift up the mood when everyone is down, if that makes sense. So that's the rumours. I wouldn't be against Aaron Wan-Bissaka in any way, shape, or form. I think he's a decent right back who can be a good option to have off the bench. He might not be your number 1 right back, but if you've got Wan-Bissaka there that plays the FA Cup or Carabao Cup games there and even come in the Premier League, for example, when we face the likes of Palace at home, like Southampton, no disrespect to any of that, like teams like Ipswich, for example, where you want to give the main one a bit of rest, a bit of rotation, just before that midweek game in the Champions League, for example. Do you know what I mean? So there's no harm in that. And as I say, he's a Premier League proven. He knows the league. He knows every single team in the league because he played against every single team in the league. When he was at Palace and he was at Man United and now West Ham. So, I wouldn't be against it. Even Champions League, he played Champions League football before. He won European Cup with the West Ham.
Yeah.
And I think
he's played in all 3 European competitions.
Yeah, so I don't think it will be a bad sign. However, the fan base will make it seem like if you get linked to him, it's bad, it's the end of the world. Because obviously, why are we getting these players? Again, did we not learn the lesson with Calvin Phillips, for example?
And that's a different situation.
Calvin Phillips is still at the football club. He's on loan, but he's still part of our books.
But Leeds United wants to buy him.
Yeah. And they were like, what about, have we not learned the lesson with the likes of Mateus Nunes, Kovacic? They had an very okay fit season, but this season, Mateus Nunes and Kovacic have been one of our best players alongside Josko Vardy and Erling Haaland. Let's not forget that it was Nunes where we had no Doku, no Jack Grealish, all injured.
Yeah.
You got put in as a left wing. He was scoring goals. He was assisting. Kyle Walker left. We had no right back. You could put a right back. Yet there has been 1 or 2 Bozo moments, one or two mistakes. But so everyone else in that team, Phil Foden has made mistakes. Haaland, for example.
But this is the thing. Foden, Haaland are the favourites. Guardiola, Bozo moments, they're the favourites.
Vardy has been making a lot of mistakes at the beginning of the season, like Brighton away.
Got the FA Cup final. Nobody talks about that. That's so shocking.
He scored an own goal.
Whenever I talk about the FA Cup final, that headed backwards, everyone is like, oh, but that's just one moment. But then they talk about Mateus Nunes, and I'm like, why is there such a double standard on these players?
Yes, because they protected the ones they fancy the most. Like, football just becomes like that. Like, they've got football fans now. They've got a select group of players which they are the guys. They fancy them. They like them. They will not be able to criticize them. Everyone who comes criticize them, they'll shut them down.
Absolutely.
Over the past 2 seasons, I've been really critical of Josko Vardio, and you know this. And I've been saying, like, this guy is not good defensively.
As a left back.
1v1 has been very weak. They get taken on too easily. He's not got that aggressiveness on his play where the opponent he hasn't got that presence like with the wingers. The wingers just have a day filled with him sometimes. And going forward, yes, he looks amazing, but defensively, he looks all over the place. And he played, and people say, "Oh, he's not." 1 minute, the thing about these people, 1 minute they tell me when he played centre back against Bournemouth and Brighton away at the beginning of the first half of the season, he looked shocking. He was all over the place. And I mentioned that at the time, and people say, "Oh, he's not right. He's a left back." But when I criticize him in his left back position, "Oh, he's not left back. He's a right back." They keep changing. So
yeah.
But now
I'm consistent in that.
I've
always
so now he got moved into that central back position where he looks very comfortable. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He reads the game well. He's really good on the build up. He helps O'Reilly quite a lot. Mm-hmm. So I've been giving him his flower. Same with Mateus Nunes. He looks very comfortable right back. He's physical. He's got strength. He's got pace. He's very good defensively. Even when ball crosses coming from the left, he's to the back post. He's dealing with the crosses really well. But people don't seem to see these things. Because they're so close-minded that
you remember when he played against Real Madrid last season at the Bernabeu? Last season, not this season, last season. And Gvardiol scored that really good goal. But nobody talks about the goal that Real Madrid scored late at 3-3, I believe, because Gvardiol was out of possession.
Yeah, because the ball came from his side. It was really poor.
But people don't talk about that because, he scored a goal. And fair enough, he scored the goal, but defenders got to defend. Like, at the end of the day, defenders have to defend first. And Gvardiol has been poor a lot defensively, but again, people don't notice that. They choose what they want to notice. By the way, what's both of you guys your thoughts on words? Well, you know mine. Let's start with Mateus because you actually don't know his, and it's quite interesting.
What is it?
Thoughts on words.
What? Sorry.
Words. Florian words. Go ahead.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. So, Mateus will be back in a second. Big up, Alf. Still feeling sick. A bit. Feeling a lot better than yesterday, but still feeling a bit sick. My voice mainly. It's really sore to talk, but it's fair. It's fair. Gotta get some streams in any minute. Breaking news. Jasper Vergoten. That's not breaking news. We knew that like a month ago. We knew that a month ago that he was going to cup final. Big up to Jasper Vergoten, who wins his every game he referees for us. AFTV was funny last night. Big up to Luke. I didn't watch it. So yeah, thoughts on Florian words.
Do you know what? The problem is, people. The way people are hyping up these guys is, I just don't see it. People saying, "Oh, we need to pay whatever they asking for this guy." The way people talking about it feels like he's like the second coming of Jesus. He's just coming. He's gonna come to Man City and he's gonna start healing everyone, the multitudes. You know what I mean? He's gonna fucking multiply breads, fish, whatever it's called. Do you know what I mean? But I honestly, I don't think most of the people in this fan base have sat down and watched Bayer Leverkusen games on a consistent basis to actually watch this guy. I don't see £100 million play on them. Now, last season, he got that hyped people were just based on highlights because people say, "Oh, I've been watching Leverkusen." Yeah, they not watching Leverkusen. They're watching highlights. They're watching clips that people.
I love that when people say, "Yeah, I'm watching this team," but it's just highlights.
Yes, because what is happening is, let's say for example, Bayer Leverkusen play PSG. Let's say Bayer Leverkusen PSG they played yesterday. Yeah, they will pick up that highlights from Verts if he's done like a nutmeg, done a few flicks, he take players on in there, and they'll put that on next, and we get so much like and so much retweets, and everyone will say, "Oh, he was really good last night. He was really good against PSG." They never watched the game. They watched that 3 minutes clips and judge on that, say he was really good. So last week I sat down and watched Leverkusen against Werder Bremen, and
was it Werder Bremen? I didn't watch long to it, so I can't remember who it was. So
no, that was last season game.
Okay, yeah.
So, no, because people say, "Oh, he was really good last season."
Yeah.
So last season, I was watching a few games from last season.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I watched against Leverkusen, I watched against Bayern Munich, and I watched a couple of more. I can't remember against who. And I was watching him. There is moments in his game where he shows a bit quality, shows his quality, but majority of the game, you just don't see 100 million playing him. He looks very, very raw. Like every time he's in the final third, his final ball is not spot on. Like his decision making is not there. And don't get me wrong, he's still 21, and there's room for improvement. However, when we're talking about a player that costs 130 or 150 million, you don't want to pay that for a role player and wish he's going to improve within 3 years. This is a money that you pay for player that are ready now. Because let's not forget, if we sign him and we pay 150 million pounds for him, there'll be no, give him time, give him a year or two. He still needs to adapt. We might say that as a fan base, but the media won't give him time. He played for Man City. He's a record sign. He cost him a lot of money. The media will be at him every single day he doesn't perform. He'll be at the back page of the papers.
Absolutely.
And that is pressure. That is pressure. At Leverkusen, because he came from the academy, he doesn't have the pressure. He can just think up the plays for like 2 months,
for example.
3 months. No one will be on his case. Even at Bayern, no one will be on his case because Bayern is like the biggest team.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Premier League, you know how the media, they literally kills the player in this country, and especially Manchester City players,
especially foreign players as well.
Yeah, you look at the likes of when we signed KDB for 54 million, it was all over Sky Sport. Chelsea reject, waste of money, yada yada yada. Only took KDB to actually start performing, to shut them down, shut them up.
Even when Guardiola first arrived, Toure, indeed.
Yeah. But with Vert, I don't see him handle that pressure because I don't see him. I feel like he's too young to have that price tag on him. Let's forget Jack Grealish. People say, "Oh, look at Jack Grealish, 100 million pound." The difference is Jack Grealish is an English lad. Yeah, he's a white British. He's English. The way he comes across in interviews, if you see after the post match, the way he talks with Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville, it's like they're friends. Do you know what I mean? The media won't attack Jack Grealish because it's his guy. Jack Grealish give his jacket to kids. The media flashes that.
He's stupid Jack, you know. He's English. He's an English ghost, even though he's Irish.
With foreign players, they don't have none of that.
Yeah.
Man United, even Manchester United, who is the media darling, Paul Pogba couldn't handle. The way the media was at Paul Pogba, £90 million. And Paul Pogba was not performing bad for Man United. But the way
but
the media
he was the only one playing well for them.
Yeah. So, in terms of he's got momentum in his game, but I don't think he's quite there. I'm not against the signing. However, I would not pay 100 million for him. Yeah. I would not pay, because when you just put all the eggs in one basket, what we can result is you may come to the league. We'll be talking, I'll give him time to adapt. He's not quite there yet. If he's not start performing, we as the fans, we patient, we give them time, but the media won't. And what happened to some of these players when they start becoming very heavily criticized, especially foreign players, they start becoming so unsettled in the team. They're becoming very unsettled in the country where they play, and 1 or 2 or 3 years down the line, they was like, I need to go. And not better place to go back than his home country and play for Bayern Munich, because we've seen this sort of situation happen with Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané was a good player, but 3 years of Man City, he got really homesick. It was like, I need to go, and he wanted to reach that pedigree for the national team, where the only way that he would reach that is to play for Bayern Munich.
If you want to play for Germany, you either have to be unreal or you have to be Bayern München. Like, that's just how it is.
Look at, for example, the recent player that Leverkusen cashed in on the big money, Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz had the same type of hype as Florian Wirtz at the time. Even Manchester City, Real Madrid were linked with Kai Havertz, Manchester City, but no one was willing to pay for that money. But Kai Havertz was scoring goals, was assisting, was getting double figures in the Bundesliga. Yeah. When he got to the Premier League, £77 million playing for Chelsea, the pressure is different. No one, Leverkusen is fine. People will cuddle you, the fans will cuddle you. Listen, even at Chelsea, the fans were really patient with Kai Havertz, but the media wasn't patient with Kai Havertz. Then he had to go to Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta came to press conference and keep saying, what he needs is love.
Mm-hmm.
His love needs love, but people listen. You get given
love. You're
love.
constantly for that.
Yeah,
constantly for that. Before I'll give you my opinion,
just to finish, I've got my reservation on Florian Wirtz. I don't think he's the player that people are hyping up him to be. I don't think he's this superstar, this wow player that people think, because I'm gonna watch a few more games. There's Dortmund, Leverkusen coming up very soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very, very good to tune in, especially because it's two good teams going head to head. So I always tell people, especially Man City fans, start watching football matches. Don't watch highlights, because even Sergio Gomez, type it in on YouTube, Sergio Gomez, Sociedad highlights.
But I've actually watched him at Sociedad. He's actually decent.
Yeah. Listen, that's the problem. Yeah, he's very good, but when you got to Manchester City, it's a completely different story. The pressure between both clubs are different.
Yeah, but the problem is at Man City he can't play the position he wanted to play. That's the problem. Because we have better players there. So Sergio Gomez, you know what's a better comparison? Ferran Torres, because Ferran Torres, he's just not good enough for Man City. I saw him again for Barcelona, bro. Why does he always come late in the box? Like you're the striker. Why are you always late? From the Silt here, a Bayern München fan, watches the Bundesliga. Wirtz is a good midfielder, so it says just good. You don't appreciate him if you don't watch him all season, but he's no De Bruyne, and he won't be for another 5 or 6 years. So I think that's very much what you are saying yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, I get it. He's not De Bruyne. No one is De Bruyne. He's more of the David Silva type, but he just needs to improve on this final ball. And if you're saying that we need to give 5 or 6 years, then we should not be paying 130 million or 150 million for him. If it's a player that we have to wait until it grows, it's like you buying a plant. If you're paying the top dollar for a plant, that plant immediately has to start giving fruit.
Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
what I will respond to that is it will immediately start giving fruit, and it will keep getting better. Because here's the thing, yeah, Words is a moment's play at the moment, and I don't reckon you watched De Bruyne in the Belgian league a lot, but when De Bruyne first broke through in the Belgian league, he would stink out the gaff for 90 minutes. Then at the end of the game, hat-trick, bam, Genk win, they get the title. And that is what De Bruyne used to do. And that type of moments can win you games. That type of like, even if they're terrible all game, just suddenly the moments are there, you win the game. That can happen. And I think Words can be that for us. Just the moments. He's got incredible statistics, and I know football is not just statistics, but we need someone to bring numbers to Man City right now. I think Words, you pair him with Erling Haaland, that is at least 10 assists. 10 to 15 assists in a single season, assuming they're both fit all season. And his goals, he has those he doesn't consistently score, but he has those moments where he just finds a finish from outside of the box. Just like Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal's finishing.
Have you seen?
He just randomly gets a goal sometimes from outside of the box. So does Words, and sometimes you need that. And he's going to continue to grow. But he won't be terrible when he
another
first
issue
arrives.
with Vert is work rates off the ball. I don't think he put enough work rates off the ball. I don't think he runs.
That's because he doesn't like playing for Xabi Alonso. He is always angry at Xabi Alonso.
What do you mean he doesn't want to play for Xabi Alonso?
Bro, he does not rate. Nah, bro. You need to see how they interact, bro.
Because
he doesn't
people are
like talking
saying,
with
right?
him.
Because people are saying if Xabi Alonso goes to Real Madrid, Vert will follow Xabi Alonso. Now you're saying that he doesn't want to play.
Nah, people say that because okay, he's grown up with Xabi Alonso, but
Vert doesn't press. Every time the team hasn't got the ball, he would just. I don't know what just the games I watched. I don't know whether I didn't pick the right games, but he's just walking off the ball, and
he does do that. He does do that.
Yeah, he gives the ball away quite a lot when he tries to get past players. I don't know. He's just raw. He's really, really raw. I think there is a talent there. There's certainly a player there, but he still needs to develop. What I would say is, give him another year. Give him another year, Leverkusen.
Yeah, but I think that's a lot of the problem because listen, if he stays another year at Leverkusen and he improves again, and then we go buy him, great. A problem I think Man City has as a club and fans have is you wait a year, now suddenly he's going to Madrid. I think that's a problem many people have, and if you can go to Words and say, listen. Well,
I don't think it will happen.
Why not?
Because Madrid is not going to pay the price tag that the Leverkusen wants, and neither is Bayern Munich. Let's face it, they will not spend £100 million on him because, listen, they've acknowledged the talent of the player. However, for the price, they will buy the players on their own terms. They will not. And I don't think in Manchester City will just pay Leverkusen whatever they want. How many years has in his contract?
He has 2 more years until 2027.
Well, he's got an option to extend it till 2028.
Yeah, but he's not doing so. He's refusing to extend.
I would, because we know Bayern Munich and Real Madrid are not going to buy him. I would let him at Leverkusen for 1 more season and see how well he does. Because if he doesn't do well, then that means they won't be asking for much. Because everyone can have a fluke season. He's not been great this season.
Yeah.
According to people on social media, he was amazing.
Here's the thing. He's been good this season, but he's not been world class this season.
Yes. So there is certainly a decline in that. However, obviously, the injured play a massive part. Don't get me wrong. We need to acknowledge that.
No, because most of the season he wasn't injured. That was
no. Yeah. Even before injury, he wasn't that great. So I would give him another season at Leverkusen and see what it's like. Because give him another year. at least if he doesn't perform or
Yeah.
if he doesn't show his ability, at least we can start right. Okay, there's a player there, but he's not that player that we might have thought he's gonna be. We can go and get him, but people start realizing, right? Okay, we go and get him, but we can only pay 60 to 70 million pounds. We're not gonna pay 130. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The problem is I've got a lot of concern when it comes to German players. I can't lie.
You don't rate Germans.
No. I can't stand them. I can't stand the Germans.
You don't want Kai Havertz at Man City.
No. I said Kai Havertz is a scrub, even when he was at Leverkusen. See, remember, even before Kai Havertz, remember Andreas Schürrle? He also came from Leverkusen.
I remembered him actually. Yeah, I forgot. I just wiped him out of my memory. Some players who just are like, they just you can't like they just come to a Premier League club or to a big La Liga team, and then nobody ever talks about them anymore. He's one of them.
Yeah, because the way we like each league is different, each country is different, the culture is different. The German culture when it comes to football is different to an English culture. We were very similar back in the day, years ago, but now with the whole Sky Sports taking control, the culture is just about marketing and social media. It's becoming very, very different. The football is being taken away from the fans. The fans don't control football anymore. It's the media that does it. The media controls what goes out.
In Bundesliga, and La Liga, it's still the clubs are still owned by the fans in those leagues. In the Premier League,
if you remember when we were going to title races with Liverpool, everything was about net spend. Look at how great the net spend is, and if you look at Sky Sport, they were literally doing match of the day, just talk about net spend, about Liverpool net spend. You can Klopp.
The problem is I don't watch Sky Sports for that exact reason.
Even not just Sky Sports. So when your mainstream media just talk about all the medias will follow, like TalkSport, BBC Radio, they will follow what's trending. So when a player is dropping a stinker, a very expensive player that costs a lot of money, so if one media talks about him, the other will follow. And especially now with the YouTube, like there are a lot of YouTube channels with 1 million followers, like Mark Goldbridge and yada. These people get a lot of traction, and they hate Man City. They don't like City players. They'll be at them. Players are under pressure, not because of the fans in the stadium.
And the players interact, by the way. The players interact.
It's the fans online, because as soon as the final whistle goes off, what the players do in the dressing room, what they do,
they go
on their phones, social media, what people are talking about me, whether they put a good performance, whether they drop a stinker, because they don't have any other life. They want to see what people are talking about them, and if people are not talking any good things about you, it's starting affecting yourself. Because if you remember the treble season, Ederson deactivated all his social media accounts in the very first half of the season. Because the fans were active.
And he starts performing better, by the way. He starts performing better when he did that.
Yeah, he was awful. The treble season, the very first half, he was letting go easily. The Mari Gray, when we played Everton away, 1-1. Easy goal to concede. I remember that game. There was 3 fellas. There were just a couple of rows in front of me, and me and my mates, and a few guys that they just sat behind me, and they stand behind me, and they were like talking about Ederson. We were saying, "No, this is not good enough. We need to put a new goalkeeper in there." And the 2 fellas in there, just in front of us, "Oh, you need to back your own players." And we were talking about Jack Grealish as well, because Jack Grealish in the first half of the season, during the treble season, was awful. He was struggling. Yeah, he wasn't good. Ederson,
A third knowledge anyway, for a lot of these players.
These players spend so much time on social media. They really are concerned what people are saying. They are. They look at what people are saying on social media, and it affects them. It affects their performance. Yeah. Listen, I don't know. I don't know about Vets. I wouldn't spend 130 million on him if he's to come.
Let's say theoretically speaking,
70 million. Maximum says 70 million, no more than that.
Okay, maximum 70 million. I was about to ask, theoretically speaking, you can get worth for like 80 million once you do it, but I guess maximum 70 million is no. Let's say right now.
And 70 million is in pounds. That would be around 85 million euros.
85 million euros.
Yeah, which is decent for Leverkusen.
Yeah, by the way, Rosa, worth the start of Javi, I think sometimes you just need a new face. Yeah, that is what I think as well. I think he's just start of Javi Alonso. Whenever they interact recently, it's just like they're kicking off at each other. Joel Ordóñez played of the 11 April at Club Brugge. Really? It is worse month at his club. And he's about, by the way, but he's been terrible this month. That's a lot of confidence. Not sure what you're talking about. And what if he plays really well and he'll be more expensive? Then you pay more. We're the richest club in England. Like, let's face it, we are the richest club in England.
He won't be more expensive because, let's say we're going to the summer 2026, then that means you only have 1 year left.
Yeah.
It won't be expensive.
You're right about that as
well. It works both ways. We either let him, because we know Bayern Munich and Madrid won't pay the fee that they want. Mm-hmm. We can either let him stay at Leverkusen for another season, and we can evaluate how good the player actually is in his third season. Because he was good last season, but to people I didn't see it. He's been awful this season. Give him another season and see what if balances out, if he actually is worth it. You won't be spending more next season because obviously his contract is running after he's gonna have 1 year left.
Yeah, so and then you certainly have that Real Madrid situation. What they get to the top B.
Yeah, and then obviously you're gonna have more clubs interested. But I always, even with the Vert situation, I said it during a couple of spaces on X, I want players that are 100% committed to play for Manchester City. I don't want any players that one side of his brain is thinking about Bayern Munich and another side of his brain is thinking about Man City or Real Madrid. You don't want to go and buy these players because at the end of the day, you want to buy players who, right, it's Manchester City only. I only want to play for this football club. I want to be a club legend in this football club. And you get the very best out of these players, the players that are committed to play for the shirt. Erling Haaland is an example.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland wanted to come to Manchester City. He said that in his interview. I had offers elsewhere, but I want to play for this football club. And my dad is a supporter of this football club. I'm a supporter of this football club. This is the only place I want to be. And Erling Haaland's going to stay here for another fucking 10 years. Do you know what I mean? So especially when you spend that kind of money, the money they're asking for, you want to make sure the player is 100% committed to play for Manchester City. You don't want, the last thing you want to hear is, oh, his dad wants him to play for Bayern Munich. Oh, if Xabi Alonso goes to Madrid, he might want to follow Madrid. This is just not on. Do you know what I mean? Because what can happen?
You can't have every player at the club being a big fan of the club either.
Yeah, you won't. But especially if you sign in like for a good amount of money, then you just don't want to say, let's say 2 years down the line, he say, oh, I'm unsettled in England, I want to go back. Yeah, you won't be selling him for more than 100 million. The price will drop. Then it's a bad business.
Yeah, absolutely. Words can't be world class at Leverkusen, says Jet, by the way. That's nonsense. You can be world class everywhere. If you're the world class, you're world class, regardless of who you play. You don't need to be in a world class team to play world class. Tell him Words wants us over Bayern, but no. Here's the thing though. Words wants us over Bayern München right now. What about in a year from now? What about in 2 years from now? Let's say he comes to Man City right now, and then he's like at Man City, and he's like, I kind of miss a journey. Maybe I should have gone to Bayern. I think that's what Matthijs meant. Like your opinions change over time. Nobody thinks the same thing their entire life. Like if you tell me
who's in the chat there, let me just ask him one question. Who was really sad when Sané left for Bayern Munich?
I think
because we all love Sané. Yeah. We did, and we thought like Sané was literally, bro, the way Sané was running down that fucking wing, yeah, Liverpool taking players on easily, yeah, he was there. Sané had the ability, but if he stayed at Man City, he had the ability to be one of the best wing in the planet, yeah. And when he was linked to Bayern Munich, everyone was pissed because at the end of the day, the player also said, "I want to go back home." Yeah, it happens to a lot of these German players.
All the foreign players in general.
Andrea Schürrle, yeah, the same. He didn't last long at Chelsea. He went back to German. Timo Werner, the same. Listen, we've got Ilkay Gundogan in there as an example. He stayed in it for quite a while.
Even then, and I know a lot of people will find this offensive, but it's true. Go talk to Turkish Germans. They identify more as Turkish than German. Like, I don't mean to be offensive here. But like, listen, I'm from Belgium. Benelux, Germany, these are very similar regions culturally. The Turkish communities, they don't consider themselves Turkish or Belgian. They consider themselves both. So they're always longing for Turkey, but then when they're in Turkey, they want to come back to Belgium. So these guys, they always have to go. If they're in Germany, they're still thinking, I want to go to Turkey. When they're in Turkey, they're thinking, I want to go to Germany. So these Turkish Germans, they have a different perspective from, I guess, full Germans. And that's how things go, isn't it? If you grow up in a specific culture, that is what you're comfortable with. And when you live in a community in a foreign country, you grow up with that community as well, with that communal culture of your home country. So someone like Gundogan was always gonna want to stay at Man City. First of all, because he was winning more here than at Dortmund. Second of all, because he wasn't getting any other offers, let's be real. Nobody knew how good he was going to be when he first came to City. Even Man City fans were on his case. Remember 1920? No Man City fan rated Gundogan. Let's not forget.
No. Gundogan wasn't like... No one liked Gundogan in the very first 2 seasons. He was slow. He was playing sideways. He was not playing any ball forwards. Listen, everyone was like... At the stadium, we were calling him Slow Gundo.
Yeah.
It was awful. But because at the same time, yeah, when we had David Silva, you need to remember that we had David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, which was our main midfielder.
Yeah.
And you have that creativity, that ball through from David Silva. You have that pace and power with Kevin De Bruyne. And then, off the bench, it was a player that it was slowing things down. Even when we needed a goal.
Yeah.
He was playing sideways passes. Do you know what I mean? And people were like, oh, this is rubbish. That's why people were at GREALISH case when he joined. So, yeah. But the problem with Gundo came with I think we how much did we pay for Gundo? Was it 28 million?
I think it was around 50 million. Something around 50 million.
Gundo was cheap. It wasn't that expensive.
Yeah, he was rather cheap.
Yeah.
You know why he was cheap, by the way? You know why he was cheap? Yeah. Because he was falling out with Dortmund fans. That's why he was cheap.
Yeah. And the thing is, even the problem is, even with Gundo, didn't have any pressure to perform. He was just here like, I was just coming here as a squad player. Just like play me football. With Wirtz, it's a bit different. The pressure is there. Don't get me wrong. Everyone in the chat, you might fancy Wirtz and whatnot. You might want a picture of Wirtz in your bedroom wall. But listen, if he signed for a massive fee, the pressure is there from day one.
Listen here. The people who want Wirtz are expecting 15 assists. They're expecting 15 assists. Debut season, 15 assists.
Yeah.
If he gets like 5 assists and he plays like okay sometimes, but poor the other times, they're gonna cook him.
Yeah. There is no see. Price tag defines how much pressure you'll be on.
Look at Jack Grealish. Look at Jack Grealish. If we bought him for 30 million, nobody would call him that bad, because 30 million for a treble, he played really well in that second half of treble year. He's played decently some points this season when he played in midfield. Oh, not that great played, but okay, he's a cult hero. But that's not what they do with Grealish, is it? Because he signed for 100 million.
And we've said it before. The problem is with Grealish, the media was not at him because obviously he's English.
Yeah.
If let's say for example, if Jack Grealish was bloody like was Spanish or French, it would be a different story, mate. it would be a different story. I don't think it would have lasted that long to Manchester City playing that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. He would have never had that step season.
just look at him, the way they hype up Bellingham. Gary Neville. Oh, look, it's nice touches. Oh my God, he's got some nice touches.
The best thing he gets
on the football pitch, but because he's got that, he's English. Let's protect our players. Let's protect our homegrown players. Any English player, yeah, they'll always get protected, yeah, by the media, unless you're black. even when you're black, so you got some sort of protection in that. But with foreign players, it's a completely different story, mate. You make the back page at the moment you sign.
Yeah, you know what the best decision is that Bellingham made? Not playing in the Premier League. That's probably the best decision he's made, because I watched him not that much at Dortmund. I watched him a bit at Dortmund, but not that much. I watched him at Real Madrid. I watched him this season again at Real Madrid. And he's actually improved at Real Madrid. Now, Madrid as a team has regressed. But if he came to the Premier League, he would have not improved, because there would have been no pressure. And pressure can go both ways. But the thing is here, there's two types of pressure. There is pressure, you're not good enough, you need to be better. And there's pressure, oh, you're terrible, get out. That's the two different types of pressure. Pressure can be positive and can be negative. In England, what these players have is negative pressure.
Look at Nunes.
Mateus Nunes, yes.
Two games. Oh, not good enough. 60 million out. Not good enough.
One thing I have to say though about Pep Guardiola, the way he's talked about some players like Calvin Phillips, and even though they're terrible, yeah, Calvin Phillips, Mateus Nunes, it's a disgrace. I can't lie. You can't say that about your players.
Yeah, it is. Listen, it's okay to have your own favourite in the squad. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
Don't throw the least favourite ones under the bus.
Yeah, I agree. More players, by the way.
When you come out and say Mateus Nunes is not the smartest man when you play in the midfield, well, he's smart enough to help you out when you need him.
Yeah. Like he doesn't praise him enough, I think, because Mateus Nunes has been one of our best players this season, I dare say.
Let's not forget that on his debut, he played really well.
Yeah.
On his first 2 games, on the first start, he started against Wolves. We lost. I think we lost 2-1 in that game with
with
was it Walker that got sent off, or was it? No, it wasn't Walker. So I think no.
It's
the Asian fellow was meant to get sent off. He scored the winner. Mateus Nunes didn't have a great game, but in that fixture, but we never see him again. So he is patient to some of the players, even though let's look at Gundo, for example. He wasn't having the greatest game in his first season, even his second season, but he was showing his faith in keeping playing him. So until he got set up into the team, we're going to get into the team. But with Mateus Nunes, it's a bit different.
Why?
Why? Because he had not had a good game against Wolves. Why don't you just stick him in and give him a little bit more confidence? Because we've seen in this table what he can do, which is carrying the ball.
Yeah, but that's not what Pep wants. That's the problem. Why Pep kept playing Gundogan, it's not because he carried the ball out or something like that. It's because he slowed down the game. And if you slow down the game, you give the team control. And Pep likes
that's why Bernardo Silva starts every fucking week.
To be fair, Bernardo Silva covering for Matthäus Nunes, so Nunes can push higher up and Silva dropping down a bit deeper, so he's not too involved with the attack. That's actually worked very well to give praise there to Pep, which I don't do a lot. Not a lot this season, at least. From Jet, by the way, more players need to delete social media, like Rodri. Yeah, but they don't. Like, you can say they need to do it, but they're not doing it, so they still feel that pressure. So you can say, okay, they should just ignore it. Well, that's not what they're doing.
Yeah, but the problem is they make money with social media.
Yeah,
every single, with Instagram, whatever, every single post they make, if they post a picture right now, they're making tons of money. If Cristiano Ronaldo fucking just posts a picture in his underwear, he's making millions.
Did you know, by the way, Cristiano Ronaldo has more money from his modeling gigs than from his pro contracts, and he's the best paid athlete in world of football.
Listen, if you're a football player, yeah, don't get me wrong. If you're a football player and your agent is telling you that we're gonna open a social media account and you start making a lot of money for it, all you need to do is just post a picture of you on training or post a picture of you bloody just on after the game, you carrying the ball. Bro, who's not gonna do it? You're gonna do it because at the end of the day, listen, money has been one of the main issues in the football world. So everyone wants to make a bit of piece of that. So they won't delete. For them to delete social media, it's going to be hard. You need to understand the footballers. They've got no social life anymore. Their social life is basically playing football.
Social life as a footballer as well. Yeah. Because people don't see you as that's problem. When you're a footballer, people don't see you as a person. They see you as a god. They see you as a god, as a king or whatever. Imagine if Neymar Jr. went onto the streets of I don't know, Rio de Janeiro or whatever. People would go down to his feet and kiss him. People are great with these players. It's difficult to have a social life. You see Haaland trying to have a social life. Everywhere he goes, it's cameras on him. These players, they want to stay in their home. And what do you do when you're at home all day? You're on social media.
Yeah.
That's what you. It's easier to say than to actually do it, you know? Like, it's easy for us to say, oh yeah, delete social media. And we're on social media all day, by the way. It's easy to say that, but it's not as easy to do it. By the way, from chat again. But then why does he, words, want to go to Madrid? Because it's Madrid. I mean, do we need
anyway, I need to go and make. I'm gonna bounce it soon. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just go through chats quickly because there's not that much. Words has not been awful. He's not been awful, but he's not been great. I think we both agree on that. He's not been world class.
No, he hasn't been great. He hasn't been great. People, as I say, people need to actually sit down and start watching Bayer Leverkusen games and make your own judgment, rather than waiting. Have you noticed that this season there hasn't been that many clips of it? There's only tweets. They're only tweeting about his name. But
because Words this season. Because again, I watched Words last season, not the full season, only when Leverkusen started getting hype. I watched Words last season and this season. He's not as good this season. He's still good, but this season he's not been as good as last season. Yeah. And last season, by the way, he was bad in all the big games. Yeah. In most games he was great, but in the big games he got
big games he was. Oh, bro, that's what I'm saying. I'm literally, I've been watching the last season's game. Big games, he's nowhere to be seen. Nowhere.
Yeah.
And if you want to pay that kind of money, you expect for a player. You expect them to perform in big games. He's not going to perform against fucking Southampton at home, where even Rico Lewis can score a goal. Do you know what I mean? It's games when we got Champions League,
to be fair,
semi-final. You got to turn up.
Rico Lewis scored a goal in a semi-final as well.
Yeah, listen. If Vitinha can play DM, then Rico Lewis can do it.
Yeah. Gundo was mad, improved by Pep. Yeah, I think he improved, but I think he was good at Dortmund as well. But You know how players just sometimes have a dip in their career and they need to find their footing again? Look at Dembele.
He was good at Dortmund.
Yeah, look at Dembele. He was also good at Dortmund. Went to Barcelona, was terrible, and now he's good again at PSG. Or at least so people say. I don't actually watch PSG enough to know. But what if Wirtz joins Bayern then in 2 years? Wait, what? What if Wirtz joins Bayern then in 2 years wants to join City?
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hated by the German fans. Bayern literally, Bayern controls the national team. You leave Bayern to join City. You're never gonna call up on your national team.
I don't think people realize this. And this is something that foreign people don't get because, again, I'm half German. I think I need to remind people that a lot. Most of the German football pyramid is controlled by former Bayern München players. I think people need to realize that. Because people just say, like, oh, why don't this player get called up for the Bayern München, for the national team? They don't play for the Bayern München. Like, sometimes it's that simple. Like, obviously, the best players will get called up. But some players that Bayern München wants, they will legit strong hand him into joining Bayern by not selecting him for the national team. The German national team, I think more than 50% of the German national team, staff, is former Bayern München players. It's when people say that the national team is controlled by Bayern, we don't mean it as in literally. Literally, former Bayern München players control the German national football team, control the German FA. It's literally controlled by former Bayern München players. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. Why doesn't he want to go? Does he want to go? To Madrid if he hates Alonso? Because Alonso isn't at Madrid. He doesn't hate Alonso. He's just tired of Alonso. That was maybe poor wording by me. Wirtz can't perform in big games because of the players around him. I mean, I guess we'll round up on that. Final opinion on that take. I think that's nonsense. In a big game, you either perform or you don't. What's your take? Oh, did he disappear? I think he did. Yeah, he dipped. Fair enough to Matthijs. Fair enough to Matthijs. I was holding him hostage here. I held Matthijs hostage, guys. He's escaped. My hostage escaped. Now, big up to Matthijs, though. Thanks for coming on. I don't know if he's still in here. Let me just send him out. Yeah. And let's find a place to redirect the stream to, because I always enjoy talking to a few people like Luke, Matthijs, who was just on, just some people that I enjoy talking to because they have actual opinions. And like that's important because I feel like so many people just repeat stuff they've heard. They have no actual opinions of themselves. So I like talking with people who have actual strong opinions, like Matthijs. So big up to him for coming on again. And that's where I'll end it, because my voice is dying, bro. My voice is dying. Who is live right now? Mancunian Way, are you live? No, you're not. Why is nobody live, bro? Y'all suck at this YouTube stuff. You're supposed to be live. 24/7, bro. No excuses. Yeah, that's way later. That's way later. Let's see. I mean, the South Stand don't need my redirects. I guess I'll redirect to Jess. How many does Jess have right now on his stream? Because Jess is live, isn't he? He is not. He's not live anymore. Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. Yeah, 80 watching, fair enough. Words wants us over Bayern. Yeah, but that's right now. In 2 years, that can change. Like, if we sign him right now, which I think we will, by the way, I still think we'll get him. But your opinions change. As a person, your opinion changes. I mean, no offense, you're only 15 or only 16, I forgot. It really does become a lot more complicated when you become an adult. Like, I don't want to throw shade here, but when you get to an older age, life, and it becomes real. Like, life becomes actually real. Life becomes a lot more complicated than that, and that changes over time. And I understand Matthijs' point. I understand it. I disagree with it, partially, not completely, but I understand it, and it is a good argument. if Wirtz comes to Man City and suddenly he's like, oh, I want to be at Bayern München, well, fuck, isn't it? But anyhow, we'll leave it at that. We've been live for 1 hour, 35 minutes. I think that's a good live stream. Big up for everyone in here. Thank you for Rodri, as always, for chatting all the time. By the way, Leverkusen said, yes, I reported on this at the start of the stream. I guess you weren't here yet. That is the first thing we talked about on stream. Bayern München, Florian Wirtz have no formal agreement, I guess. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching. Alfred in chats. Last comment? No, it's not. Alfred, there you go. That's last comment.